Russian President Vladimir Putin says there will be no peace in Ukraine until Russia reaches its goals.
Russian President Vladimir Putin regrets not attacking Ukraine openly earlier, but he doesn't regret starting the war.
Have you ever wondered how the decisions of powerful leaders can shape the fate of nations, and what goes on behind the curtains of global politics? How decisions are made, wars are waged, and lives are changed? Picture this: a prominent leader, recognized for his sharp strategies and firm stance, speaks a sentence that shakes up the entire world of politics. "We regret not starting it earlier." These few words, spoken by none other than Vladimir Putin, holds our focus like never before. But what do they truly signify? How do they affect the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine? Join us as we uncover the mystery behind Putin's words and explore one of today's most important global issues. Since February 20th of 2014, the conflict between Russia and Ukraine has raged on. However, the situation escalated dramatically on February 24th of 2022, when Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. This invasion marked the most significant attack on a European nation since the horrors of World War II. The toll has been staggering, with tens of thousands of Ukrainian civilians losing their lives and hundreds of thousands of military personnel casualties reported. By June of 2022, Russian troops held about 20% of Ukraine, worsening the situation. The effect on Ukrainians was huge. From a population of 41 million, over 8 million were displaced within Ukraine, and 8.2 million fled, creating Europe's biggest refugee crisis since World War II. Now, fast forward to February 15th, 2024, and NATO's leader, Jens Stoltenberg, just dropped a bombshell. NATO countries are teaming up to give Ukraine 1 million drones after a meeting of defense ministers in Brussels. Stoltenberg stressed the need to speed up production for conflicts and mentioned that 20 NATO allies will work together to clear mines, protecting Ukrainian lives. Moreover, Canada, Finland, and Norway promised to help with F-16 parts and air defense systems. These actions show how the world is standing with Ukraine, highlighting NATO's vital role in supporting Ukraine's defense during this crisis. And that's not all. When talking about support for Ukraine, how can we forget French President Emmanuel Macron and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who will sign a security pact at the Elysee Palace in Paris, stemming from commitments made during G7 discussions at the NATO summit in Vilnius in July of 2023. The agreement aims to provide Ukraine with long-term security assistance. Specifics of the agreement remain undisclosed, but Macron aims for a deal similar to the UK's $3.2 billion contribution. Additionally, it was announced that U.S. President Joe Biden will host Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk and President Duda next month, as concerns over Ukraine's security intensify. The joint visit on March the 12th will bring together Poland's newly elected Prime Minister and President, signifying a rare occasion. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre stated that the leaders will emphasize their steadfast support for Ukraine's defense against Russia's aggressive actions during the visit. But amidst all this, tensions rose even higher. Ukraine launched a rocket strike on Belgorod, a Russian border city, resulting in the deaths of at least 6 people, as reported by local officials. With both sides increasing aerial attacks, the conflict, now in its second year, shows no signs of easing. Ukraine's vulnerable position near Avdiivka, in the Donetsk region, highlights the seriousness of the situation. Videos on social media depicted the aftermath, showing a damaged storefront and distressing cries. Among the casualties, 5 were children, as reported by the governor. Moving on, the NATO chief cautioned against divisions between the United States and Europe, especially with concerns over Washington's commitment to allies if Donald Trump returns to office. Amidst the conflict in Ukraine and disputes over U.S. support, European leaders emphasize increased defense investment. Stoltenberg urged European allies to strengthen spending, stressing its role in strengthening NATO. He emphasized the need to avoid actions that may disrupt Europe-North America relations. He also voiced concerns over the delay in passing new United States aid for Ukraine, highlighting its adverse impact on Kyiv's forces battling Russia. Stoltenberg emphasized the urgent need for Congress and the House of Representatives to provide ongoing support to Ukraine. Polish Foreign Minister Radoslaw Sikorski and British Foreign Secretary David Cameron jointly called on the U.S. Congress to approve an aid package for Ukraine. They expressed concerns over Donald Trump's opposition to a Senate-approved $95.34 billion military aid package for Ukraine and Israel, fearing its passage in the Republican-controlled House of Representatives. And there's more shocking news. Ukraine reinforced its troops in the besieged town of Avdiivka, labeling the situation as extremely critical. Russian forces have surrounded the city in the eastern Donetsk region for nearly a year, prompting the urgent redeployment of the 3rd Separate Assault Brigade to reinforce Ukrainian forces, highlighting the severity of the situation. Meanwhile, Ukrainian officials reported that Russian forces landed 26 missiles at Ukraine overnight, resulting in casualties and destruction. Ukrainian air defenses stopped 13 missiles, but tragically, a 66-year-old woman lost her life when 2 projectiles struck a residential area in Chugayev. Before this, France's defense minister announced France's commitment to meeting NATO's defense spending target of 2% of GDP by 2024, as discussed during a NATO meeting in Brussels. Sébastien Lecornu affirmed France's dedication to achieving this goal on schedule. Then, a study conducted by the World Bank, United Nations, European Commission, and the Ukrainian government revealed that rebuilding Ukraine's economy after Russia's offensive will cost $486 billion. This amount, equivalent to 2.8 times its expected economic output in 2023, covers the period from Russia's attack on February 24, 2022, through December 31, 2023. The estimate encompasses direct physical damage to infrastructure, impact on people's lives and livelihoods, and the cost of building back better, as specified by the World Bank. Compared to last March's estimate of $411 billion, this 10-year projection represents an increase, with housing needs ranking highest at $80 billion, followed by transport at $74 billion, and commerce and industry at $67.5 billion. Arup Banerjee, the World Bank's regional county director for Eastern Europe, emphasized the enormity of the $486 billion figure, stating the genuine necessities it reflects, despite a notable decrease in the rate of damages observed in the initial months of the conflict. If you thought this was it, brace yourselves, because there's more to this drama. A Ukrainian drone attack ignited a fire at a Russian oil depot in the Kursk region. Governor Roman Starovoyt confirmed the incident on social media, assuring no casualties while urging calm. What a relief! In the early hours of Kyiv's mayor, Vitaly Klitschko, confirmed that Ukrainian air defenses had stopped and repelled a Russian missile attack targeting the capital city. Klitschko urged residents to seek shelter as a precautionary measure. Witnesses reported multiple explosions in various areas of Kyiv. Now get ready for this. Russian President Vladimir Putin expressed his sole regret, not initiating the special military operation in Ukraine sooner. Putin addressed reactions from Western politicians to his interview with U.S. journalist Tucker Carlson during a televised show. How shocking! He said it was important for Western leaders to see the interview, but felt sad they misunderstood him. Putin explained that he never connected the beginning of the special operation to NATO's supposed aggression against Russia. Instead, he talked about the repeated dishonesty regarding NATO's expansion eastward, which happened 5 times. Moving on, Ukraine's military issued a warning about a group of Russian bombers departing from a base in Russia, raising concerns about potential missile strikes. Ukraine's Air Force conveyed via telegram that the takeoff of multiple Tu-95MS aircraft from Olynya Airfield in Murmansk region of the Russian Federation had been detected. Earlier this month and in January, the Air Force had also reported the departure of these strategic bombers, which have roots that date back to the Soviet era. In a separate event, talks about Russia sanctions happened amongst the US and EU and other partners during a meeting in Brussels ahead of the second anniversary of the war in Ukraine. A senior US official mentioned that Washington and its allies are ready to impose strong sanctions to mark the occasion. The talks about Russia's sanctions show how countries are working together to deal with Ukraine's situation. Many are ready to put in big effort, though they haven't shared all the details yet. These steps aim to keep Russia under pressure, especially with doubts about U.S. help to Ukraine. The United States government has used all its money for Kyiv, and it's stuck getting more from the House of Representatives, which is run by Republicans. But amidst these challenges, one question arises: how can you, as a global citizen, contribute to bringing peace to the world? Share your thoughts in the comments box below. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more amazing content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.